Roll call, please.
Okay. Bonnie McInerney, absent. Deborah Addy, here. Maureen Botre, absent. Joe Bosey.
Here.
Samantha Bynum.
Here.
Brian Truppa.
Here.
And Dennis.
I'm
Dennis
here.
is here. They don't have your name on here. Yeah.
Okay, approval or amendments to the agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Do a roll call on that, or just all in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Approval of the minutes from the November 16th meeting, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Preface. The Clay Township Zoning Board of Appeals, or ZBA, primarily addresses practical difficulty based on lot size, location, shape, or contour, and/or location of existing buildings. We are guided by Section 27.05 of Ordinance Number 126. There are 5 members on the ZBA, all of whom are present tonight. At least 3 members must vote affirmatively for a motion to grant a variance. At least 3 members must vote affirmatively for a motion to grant a variance. 3 members constitute a quorum. Excuse me. Each appeal before the ZBA will have a public hearing, at which time the applicant will first present his or her case, and a public comment regarding that issue will follow. During this time, members of the board may ask questions of clarification. If a particular point gets belabored, the chairperson has the right to limit comments. When the public hearing is closed, the board will move on to the deliberation of the particular variance request. If the applicant should disagree with the board's decision, he or she has the right to take it to circuit court within 30 days of the decision. When your appeal hearing is concluded, you're welcome to leave or stay as you wish. I don't know why that stumbles me every time. Every time it gets me. It just doesn't. Okay, so on to new business. We're going to start. First one is ZBA 2022-002 at 8625 South Channel. Representative, come on up.
Hi, I'm Mike Stevenson from Timberwood Homes. I'm here representing my client, Jeff Cly. Just to start out, to give you the whole story, he purchased this lot next to him as a full lot and demoed an old kind of dilapidating house. And then split this lot with his neighbor. And all Jeff was looking to do out of it was to get himself a detached garage. You know, he doesn't have a basement, obviously, where he lives on South Channel. Looking to get, basically just more storage. So, in doing that, you know, we're looking for a 1.5 foot variance on the height of the garage we want to build. It's a 28-foot wide garage, and the house currently has a 12-12 pitch on it, where there's the current attached garage is facing the front, and we want to basically just put another garage next to this garage with that same pitch roof on it. So if we were to alter the pitch of the roof, it just wouldn't look aesthetically very good, for one. The other, it being, we are doing an attic truss, or we're proposing to do an attic truss above it to where you can get that storage up top, more storage too. So, you know, we feel it's going to fit in well with the neighborhood. It's not going to stick out by any means. It's going to match everything very, very well that he's got on the property. He's got a boathouse that we did probably 10 years ago, that's got the same 12-12 pitch across the street. So, and then he's kind of in that little area where there's like that cove across. So there's really not even any like houses that are even looking through this thing. So we really feel it's going to fit in good, and it's not going to be a detriment to anyone. So if there's any questions, any further questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
Okay, hold on, we don't have no letters. I didn't see any letters. I will open up, stay there, Mike, open up. No one's there, open up to public comment. I'd like to close public comment. You guys have any questions for
I do.
Mike?
There's no site plan on here. How far off is this garage from the side lots?
5 feet.
On both sides?
5 feet from the division of where the lot got divided, 5 feet, and then, it's part of the lot now that he's on. So I believe we're 12 feet between the houses and the garage.
But overall, though, I mean, you're taking this lot and then this lot. So these two lots are combined, or is this now two lots?
Okay, so I got a site plan I can show you.
Because I was looking, I didn't see the site plan was showing.
Did we take that extra into effect, Gary? I'm going to ask you that question while Mike's looking. Like, setback is 3 feet, side yard setback's 3 feet. If he goes over 2, he's allowed to go a foot higher, right? So now he's really,
Well, actually, it's still 3.24, it's still the same, 1 for 1. It has not been changed.
No,
And it's not a typo. It's not a typo.
we changed that, Dennis.
I know, I spoke to the planner, and I spoke to the planning commission, it has not been changed.
Did that get taken in consideration in this?
No, on the 1.5,
So is this 6-inch variance in a sense? I mean,
if he stays 5 feet off, then yes, we are 2 for 1, so you're only a 6-inch encroachment on height.
so Mike, do you have that you're going to do that?
We're going to be 5 feet
At
off.
5 feet minimum?
Yep.
So, do you guys understand that rule?
I know it's come up a few times.
Yes.
right?
So, a normal setback is 3 feet, minimum setback is 3 feet. Mike is going 5 feet, so every additional 2 feet, he's allowed to go a foot higher,
Right.
okay? So, with that said, if he goes 5 feet, this variance would now only really technically be 6 inches that he was looking for. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Dennis, you could fight me later on that, but right now, that's how I interpret it, that's how I understood it. It's been multiple meetings. If it's written wrong, we definitely have to change this, because I'm not gonna fight in the middle of a meeting over this
Let me
ordinance.
show you
The plot,
Yeah, so this is what's happening. This is the house that we're dealing with. This is their attached garage.
right?
This was the house that was there that got demoed, okay? So, we basically essentially have 50-foot 2 from the house to this lot line now. We're only building a 28-foot wide structure.
So on one side, then, you're over 12 foot.
Yeah,
So, again, here we go. Again, now it's over 12 foot. on one-
That's one side, it has to be,
Yeah, but
three
no,
and-
if
three
the
and-
lots are conjoined, did the lots get put
28,
together?
so we're like 33. So we'll be 17 foot off the house, but not necessarily 17 feet off the property line.
Oh, I
The
see what
old
you're saying.
one,
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So, yeah.
So you're building it
we'll
closer to the
probably-
new line right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than the other
Right,
line? Okay.
exactly. So we'll probably end up being like 2 or 3 feet off the old line. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you guys understand that? So this is the house right
Yep.
here. This is the width.
Yep.
the attached garage that we're trying to match the look.
Yep.
You know? So we got 50-foot two all the way over to this lot line.
Mhm.
We're staying 5 foot off this line with this garage. So, you know, I mean, we could even go a little bit more. Like, if I'd have known that, I probably would have just went a little bit more and not had to come here.
Careful what you ask for, Mike.
Is the garage already built?
No.
Okay.
There's an attached garage to the house already.
Is there?
So
Yes.
this would be an accessory building.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you just said that, if you had moved a certain way, that you wouldn't have to come here. Why aren't we going that route?
He didn't want that route.
Oh, okay.
There's a second variance as well, I see here,
Yeah.
for the second floor.
No, it's not on the, what was, put in the paper. Did you guys overcome the, 8-foot ceiling height in the, on the attic trusses? Because what was published is only showing the 1.5-foot variance. I'm reading it right here.
The attic truss is supposed to be 8 foot at the highest part.
This is the publication.
It's not written in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, here's the publication.
Yeah, I see that.
So, is
So what do
these,
you have over there?
I know, I'm reading Gary's notes on his thing here, but are you still doing the
Hang on,
8-foot
hang on,
ceiling?
let me stand up and just see what she's got, because
It's
I
here.
don't have that.
It says R1 seeking a variance for the second floor accessory structure and a 1.5
and,
foot
yeah, okay.
variance for height of 16 feet. So it's the first sentence is there.
Okay, so you still are doing the 8-foot ceilings for the upstairs?
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Yes, I read over to.
I guess if that's what, like, dictates
Yeah, I'm
the
on
second
that.
floor, but it is all attic in my eyes, because he is using it for attic storage, so, but, the 12-12 allows the 8-foot, height in there, so, and that's the pitch that matches our other garage, so we'd like to do that if we can.
Is there anything about the property, that would prevent you, so is there anything about the property that would be super, super burdensome if you complied with the ordinance? The specific piece of property?
Like if I was able to move it over like another foot to like, to abide by the height ordinance, is that what you're asking me?
No, so like if you had to describe anything about the property that would kind of render conforming to the ordinance unburdensome, like is it too narrow? Is it too shallow? The shape or area?
Well, I would just say, when he set forth to do his original house, he didn't have that property next door yet. So, once he was able to acquire that and then demo that building and do what he did, with the lot line and split the lot with the neighbor, he allowed himself, to build, to put a garage there. So, I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but
How far off the house is it, Mike?
how far off the house is it gonna be? It's gonna be, like right now, 17 feet off the house. But if we moved it over, I can move it over that other foot to help the height part, to get that other 6 inches, and then we'll be 16.
I mean, you had to stay a minimum of 10, right? Right?
It's 2 for 1, so.
No, the accessory buildings from the main has to be 10 feet away, so right now he's got technically 7 feet that he could slide to get that extra foot, whatever that calculation is, he'd have to go,
2 for 1.
It'd be 6 foot off the line if it's the 2
Well,
for
what I'm
1.
saying, he, instead of his 5 feet, he'd have to go 6 feet. And there's nothing that's really saying that he can't. He's asking to not because he didn't know they wanted to go off, 5 feet, but.
Oh, I think Samantha's looking for a practical difficulty in the lot size.
Yeah, we gotta get.
One of the things about the property, Samantha, if you don't know, it's off of Bates Highway towards the turnaround, and it's a finger road. You go over a bridge, and there's only room for houses on one side.
Okay.
And then the other side, there's boathouses, and it's a little, like a pond or, like a little
It's like
inlet
a-
there.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you
like a
have
little
to
cove
head
in there.
back out between the two. So,
It's a
that's
weird
pretty
shape.
unique about that property.
Okay.
Do you know if it floods at all over there? Do you know if it was underwater or anything like that?
No, they're pretty high in there.
Okay.
Yep. And then like the adjacent lot that was there with that house on it, that grade was way lower.
Okay.
So when he pulled that out, like him and his neighbor just filled that lot in, like probably like 1.5 feet.
Okay.
And so it's just gonna be way better for like the, I mean, it already is nice having the lot there.
Yes.
The neighbor doesn't plan to do anything really with his side, but, like I say, he would like to do this garage.
Well, I don't, I honestly personally don't see the height of the building being an issue. I think the biggest objection or the problem we're gonna end up having is going over the 7-foot cold storage attic. Because anything over 7'1" is considered usable space in an accessory building, you're not allowed. So that's where if I'm speaking for everybody, I think that would be our biggest objection is the 8-foot ceiling in the second story. I don't know what are you guys thinking? I mean, the 6 inches, I think that's a push, because, when you start moving the property away from that, you're losing all that valuable space on the other, it's like dead space. And to pull it any closer to the house is kind of a detriment in itself. You might as well keep it as far to the property line as possible. But our biggest obstacle that we've had is the 8-foot ceilings in a lot of these accessory buildings. So that would probably be the number one thing, I think, at this point, is to try and overcome. So, I mean, on those, you want to keep the outside the same. I don't know if we can suggest, but you've been around a long time. You can change that interior and make it a 712, or make it so it is 7.5 feet. So the time you finish it off, it's whatever you do for flooring, it's still under the 7-foot rule, or at 7 foot. So it doesn't come into habitable space. It's still considered cold storage.
Well, I mean, I guess that's up to the board, but I mean, he truly is using this for storage. I've like straight out even asked him, I'm like, are you planning on doing a room up there or whatever ever? And he's like, no. He's like, I don't have a basement. I'm using it for storage. The height would probably help him out for that part of it. I feel he really wants that,
I think with the attic trusses, you're only gonna get 4 feet on a 28-foot span. You're only gonna get 4 feet at 8 foot. 4 to 6 feet
Oh, I
at
know.
8 foot. Well, that's what I'm saying, we're talking, you know what I mean? He
Well,
could
if it's only 4
put a
foot
2 by
from the center,
6.
then it doesn't matter. because
Right,
you
that's
have
what I'm
to
saying.
have-
I mean, it's an attic truss.
You have to
So
have-
half of his room is pitched like this, and then he's got an 8-foot ceiling. I don't know, I don't see the truss specs, but I'm not an engineer, but I'm just saying, he's only gonna have 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet.
Isn't it 8
At
foot
8 foot.
across? It has to be considered a habitable, because it'd have to be 8 by whatever to be considered. So, yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm just saying, it's an
Yeah,
attic
yeah.
truss, it's not,
Storage.
it's not-
Yeah, there's
necessarily
going to be,
for
it's usually clipped for
living.
part of it, and then,
So I mean, if we're gonna get technical on the, how much is it, you know what I mean? to me, we're,
Well, it
having
had
the
to hit a-
ceiling is sloped, and it's
It
not
had to hit a point for
walkable.
him to mark it, that's why I was wondering questions.
I got it. It's an issue that it's, it's not, I guess I'm looking at a second floor being 100% 8 foot, all 4 walls,
Right,
not a slope ceiling.
right.
It's not what the ordinance says. I'm not saying, I'm not putting words in the ordinance. Just saying,
The wall height is not 8 foot, it's only
Correct.
the ceiling height on that
Correct.
center of the room.
there is people that can finish it though. I'm not saying that it can't be livable, but it's an accessory building. It's not attached to water. It doesn't have a sewer over there. It doesn't, I can't see that later being finished for living, you know,
Well,
that
I'm-
has any kind of thing but maybe a mattress in it. but-
Even in a 1.5-story regular home, if the ceiling isn't a certain, what is the width of the ceiling for an upstairs in the house for it to be considered, that extra square footage for the house be considered for it? Because we come across that all the time. Remember that one we had on
We did, Gary.
the middle channel?
Minimum width of a room can be 7 feet. And when you're talking about slope like, bungalows and that sort of thing,
Uh-huh.
within that 7 feet, you can have ceiling as low as 5 feet. So, you could make a room out of that would be habitable, just based on that. But good point being is that the way that this is set up, there are no interior walls. It's not anything that's going to be any more than a small area on the top that's at 8 foot. Does it constitute a habitable space? Yes. Is it a practical habitable space? Probably not. Nothing more than storage could probably even be considered there.
Mike, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
In his garage, is it going to be exactly the same, the attached garage to the house as the new garage that he wants to build?
It's not, you mean like the same size and everything?
I'm talking about the height.
Yeah,
His
well,
house looked high to me.
This one's gonna be like 4 feet wider than the garage on the house.
Okay.
So it will be like 2 feet taller, roughly, than the garage on the house.
Okay, gotcha.
But the main thing is the pitches match.
The
Like,
pitches do, okay.
right.
Because I do see on our practical difficulty, it says conformity unnecessary burdensome. So when it talks about strict compliance with the zoning ordinance that would prevent the owner from using the site for permitted use or would render conformity unnecessary burdensome. If you're trying to be consistent on the boathouse, the house, and the third house, why did he build that dollhouse there next to these. So that could be for practical difficulty, if I'm reading into it right.
I think
Is that a motion?
that's, wait, yeah, is that a motion?
No, I just want to kick it around a little bit.
Yeah, I think I need to hear more about, what about the specific piece of property would make it difficult to, comply. But I think potentially it could be there. And I guess I could put that back to you, just describing the property and,
Well, I mean,
what's unique about it, if there is anything unique about it, if there's an ability to revise your plans to comply with the ordinance, and if
well,
not,
I mean,
why.
there's always an ability to do that. It's just what it's kind of like a give and take a little bit, I think, with this stuff. I mean, the owner bought a building that was dilapidating.
Okay,
He removed it on his own dime, and he's trying to put up something that looks nice, not like out of the ordinary, not like, too big or nothing. He's not trying to put like a 30 by 60 pole barn on it or nothing like that. He's trying to put like a nice looking garage that has like a little porch coming off the back, just to be able to hang out, on the garage, behind the garage. As stated, the area is about as unique as you can get. I don't think you can get much more unique than Harson's Island with their properties. So, I think there's plenty of room, you know, for what he wants to do there. And he could actually go bigger if he wanted. He could go, you know, deeper too toward the water, you know, according to the setbacks and everything. But he's trying to hold it back because he wants to, you know, be able to have yard back there. So, like, I've been doing this a long time, and there's sometimes I come in here and people are really asking for a lot, I think, and I'm just like, whoa, I don't know about that. But I really feel like he's being fair with what he's trying to do on this property, like with what he's already done to help out the area. I just really do.
Can I see that site plan again?
I think you can double that, what you're building, like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
think
So that's,
so
he's not
1
trying to
square foot
maximize his
smaller than the house.
space. It's not,
If we could just hang out for a second, I just want to,
I don't know,
thank you.
it's hard to describe.
that's the old house.
So,
Yeah, so
this is
here's
the road.
Right.
This is where the canal is. Here's the residence, and here's the property that got split. So here it is here.
Multiple
All right, so this is gone. So here's your new line. This is the old line.
And there's not, it's
No,
not
I get it. I
okay.
was just trying to say if we
Yeah.
could help
The
tell the
same
story
as-
here.
Yeah.
necessarily the neighbor or the neighbor next to him,
And
or
we're gonna be putting it,
within a mile. They're probably not all
I
the same.
think setback
in any
over
way,
here,
shape,
it's
or
gonna
form.
be
It's
even
not
with this.
Yeah.
the
This
same
is not
widths,
it.
all
No, no.
different
Oh,
lengths,
and it
widths.
won't-
Is it 5 off the employee pointed here, so I'm assuming the same.
It's not like, say, the colony where it's 100 foot. They have different with the bridge sometimes. What are you guys looking at?
The site plan.
Just looking at the uniqueness of the property, and that's why I was just trying to help facilitate her motion she's gonna be making so we could pass this.
Well, like I was trying to explain, no Harson's Island properties are all the same. So
Right, it's
each
not a
one of them
cookie
is-
cutter thing, no way.
You know, it's not a subdivision, it's not a Bird Street, it's not it was kind of, in the past,
It's marshland.
I will tell you,
You
the
know,
house that was
get a
there,
seawall.
they moved it. They put it on a barge and moved it down to
Right.
St. Clair, I think.
I know one that just moved 5 houses down on Harson's Island on a barge. So
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's very unique, meaning they're not all equal, they're not all the same.
Gotcha.
And I do appreciate, Mike, what you're doing, because you aren't coming here for a 10-foot variance on the height. You're not coming for,
Pass it
you
down
know,
the street.
oversize of the house. I mean, this garage could be a lot bigger than,
Right.
which doesn't necessarily mean you get it, but he's not, like he said,
Yeah.
he's not going astronomical. He's not trying to make it stick out like a sore thumb like some people are asking for. In my eyes.
I think we all see that, I was just trying to.
See, this was his property, and then this was a little piece of property. Imagine that little house in between.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that isn't this, you know, these 3 aren't even the same. Even this one and that one are the same. Now they're pretty equal because it looks like they shared it pretty well. Which
And to me, it's
probably how it should be designed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the same token, if you look at this lot, I mean, I can't read this, Mike, what is this? This lot right now, what is your existing lot without the,
110.
and then this one is 50? And then this one is,
This one's 35.
35.
I'm 50 foot 2 off the house.
okay. So see what I mean? So
Yeah.
110, and then you go 32, or, you know, and then this one is what?
This one's
They-
90.
Before the new.
90 before the new.
So it's
So that's-
not the same.
That's
Okay, yeah.
125. Yeah, like, so it's just, everything's different down there.
He's not asking to go closer to the setback. He's going actually further than he can. I mean, because with his variance that he's asking, the 1'6", he could be at 3 feet, and it's the same, but he's going 5 foot and asking for, we'll say, the 6 inch
6 inches,
variance.
yeah.
Do you guys understand that, right? Because he could go to 3 feet off
Yes.
the property, which I'm sure that's not, nobody, you can though, with this variance.
That would be-
Unless we state that he has to stay 5 feet. I'm just saying that there's certain things in motions that you could state, because he did say he is gonna be at 5 feet, and it's really only a 6-inch variance.
Right.
But does it really,
To me? No,
And
but
it-
sometimes, I mean,
in that area where
no.
how it's unique of those houses, that's the only one, when you go by there, that's the only houses that you see, you don't really see.
Right.
Others are, in that cove around the South Channel, you wouldn't really see it, you wouldn't even see that difference. So I think it's unique because of that strip of property.
I agree.
I mean, 35-foot lot isn't even buildable now, is it, Gary? Okay, so he did justice on that.
I guess my only question is, do we need 2 motions for each variance?
That
Or
depends
one
on how you
motion for each
propose
variance?
it.
Okay.
If you just say, if you propose it as written, it just gets, yes or no.
Oh, okay.
If you're denying one and saying yes to another, yes, it would need 2 different proposals. You guys good over there? Anyone need Gary to
Everything without adding the 35 foot.
say anything?
Just bonus response.
Clarifications from Gary? Anything?
I don't think so.
I always try to pull you up, Gary.
Well, does Gary have anything you want to say? No. Okay.
Here for you.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance as stated. I think it is a unique piece of property. I don't think it would bother anyone. I don't think you'd get any complaints for it. I think it would conform to the rest of the neighborhood and what's already built there, which is absolutely beautiful. I think he's put a lot of money into it. And it is a unique situation based on the land. And it is not self-created. It would give him substantial justice, and it wouldn't be contrary to the ordinance.
I would second that. And I know that whole little area is all very tight-knit down there too. And if there was anyone to complain down there,
Any
they would have
screamers,
been
yeah.
here and saying something. I know that much.
Okay, so we have a motion and support. Roll call, please.
Okay. Deborah Addy is a yes. Maureen's absent. Joe Bosey,
Yes.
Samantha Bynum,
Yes.
Dennis Szymanski,
Yes.
Brian Treppa.
Yes. All right, so your motion carries, or approved. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks a lot.
Your site plan's up here yet,
Oh, yeah. No, I grabbed that.
did you?
Did you?
I don't have it.
I don't have it.
I grabbed
Mike.
it from you guys.
Oh, okay.
At the end. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, we'll move on to
Merry
the
Christmas.
next.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Move on to the next new business, 6B ZBA bylaws update. We do have an amendment that they want us to adopt. There is one change that I would like to, before we vote on this. Section 4, it says A. It's just a continuation of E
I would.
versus A, okay?
I would make.
Just
it
kind of like a little typo. No big
Same
deal.
acknowledgement, yeah.
And it's just, I mean, if you read the sentence, it is just a continuation of that sentence or paragraph, okay? With that said, I think we should just vote on it and just say, do we approve the wording?
Should we
Anything
read it
else?
out loud?
Ken?
I mean, just so you know what, so everybody else knows what it is, basically.
Yeah.
So adding to section E of section 4 would be, on the tail end of it, which would be alternate members are expected to attend all zoning board of appeal hearings. An alternative member may be called where a regular member has a conflict of interest and/or accordingly must abstain from participating in a given issue. So that would be an amendment to the first part of the paragraph of section E.
Okay. Everyone in favor of this? How about this? Anyone opposed to this?
No.
No. Okay, so everyone in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll adopt that. So now we go to the elections of officers. Every year, we reappoint or appoint new. We do have some new faces and stuff, but I don't know who can
I
change
nominate
around.
Brian to be the chair,
Well, I'm sure Bonnie, will,
and Bonnie wants to be the assistant chair. Charlie told me that. What? Are you trying to get out of it?
no,
Oh.
no, I enjoy it.
I thought I asked you.
No, I enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be good for me, because I just came on regularly, I'd still learning though.
All right, so
What are the
nominate,
positions? Chair.
yeah, chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Autograph, please.
Well, if there's a first, I'll second it.
I nominate Deborah Addy,
For what? Secretary?
secretary.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wah.
so we'll just keep it all the same then.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, are we gonna all keep it the same? All in favor, or do you wanna do a roll call?
Keep it the same.
All the same.
Everyone keep it the same?
Yeah.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all members stay the same. We will go on to, well, we're in closed new business, we're gonna go on to unfinished business. I don't believe we have any. Gary, do you have any? No? Okay. Report from planning commission.
Okay, let's see. We did a draft solar energy amendment. And it's, you know, for solar energies on, you know, factories, industrial homes and all that kind of stuff. And it turned out pretty well, so we made a motion to recommend it to the board. And I think they'll hold another public hearing on it. We had some unfinished business. On the Rocks is a bar down just past the Cabana Blue. They were requesting to have, to be able to stay open later and to have music outside. And it's been going on for a couple months, but we tabled it again. They're going to try to work on an ordinance for any new businesses coming in, so it's very consistent, not cherry picking. I don't know what they're going to do with this yet, you know, so. The last thing was the draft of the Clay Township Recreation Plan. That was also going to the board for a public hearing. And just like our master plan, we have to update it every, I think it's 5 years. And that's it.
Is there gonna be a meeting on that ordinance by chance? Okay,
They're going to have a public hearing, the board is.
okay, that's,
I'm not sure what's.
and we
what
just
it's
can't
on.
leave that's a pretty good cliffhanger right there, that's why
Yeah,
I'm sure.
they're going, you know, we recommend it to the board, they
Right.
can't. So I'm not sure when they're gonna put it on their schedule.
Okay, so
Don't
everyone
know
be watching out for that. Okay,
I suspect maybe January, it depends on, you know, quite a few things.
gotcha.
You know,
Thank you. All right,
yes.
anything with that, Dennis?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because once, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a variance, once a variance is done, it's always sticks with that property forever and ever and ever?
Yeah, it lives with the property, not
Yes.
the people.
So, because that's what's so odd, and I brought that up last time we was here about that, because we
About
got,
what?
about the outside entertainment and staying.
The situation over there is that they have a land use, a special land use. And they had, when they came to us, this was all incorporated, this is what they could do. Now he wants to amend that. So on top of it now, they want to create an ordinance for all the new bars coming in, but we have to change his plan if he wants that done.
And I don't know if that's true as a variance on a piece of property stays with the property, because if you got a variance that you can go to a side yard setback,
Well, it's
that's
supposed to
existing
side yard
building, right?
setback,
And
so
then
it's
you
such
tear
a-
the house down, you gotta now then comply with
Right.
new,
Well,
or
sure.
the
But
existing ordinances.
I think the variance,
So I don't know
Tear it
what,
down.
maybe an ordinance, I mean, we have to be careful how we say that, because I'm not in agreeing with that, because
well, I'm just saying, the only reason why I'm saying it, and I know, because when I'm the one that did Sunset Bay, and I got the variances and all that stuff back then. And that's why I thought that stuff would
Yeah,
stick.
they
That's the
came
only reason
in
why.
with a special land
If you
use.
tear down the property, like, let's say you have the building, and
Nothing got changed.
somebody gets the variance for that, and then somebody else buys the property, that building still has the variance, so that building could stay there. But if you tear it down and then try to build the same building, you have to get a variance again.
Yeah.
if you
but-
wanna go
Yeah.
against it, okay.
But nothing changed on the building, and we still even have it approved for the pole barn on the backside there. You know, that, on the site plans that were and everything. That's why I just wondered, I mean, I haven't said anything, but I just wondered, we went through hoops and spent months and months on it back then, getting it approved. And this is before I was on this board, you know.
Well,
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was,
Seems like I've been here forever.
it's a long time ago.
I'll give you another example. They were getting permits for music from the Liquor Control Commission, and then they have to go to the police department to have that special permit, and they give it to them between the liquor control and the police
The
department.
newer people.
But our planner checked with our attorney, and they said that site plan or the special land use, it's like a mini ordinance. So he shouldn't even be doing that, apparently.
So
But
what the
who
planning
would ever
commission
know?
approved back then, shouldn't have done it then? Shouldn't have
It
approved it.
changed ownership.
No, I know, I mean, but nothing else did, but if the ownership didn't change though, would they still be doing it then, or allowed to do it?
I'm not sure.
If they were approved to do it,
Yeah, it wasn't
but
on
if it
their
changed
original.
ownership,
It wasn't on their
you would think it would
original.
change.
I mean, I didn't know
Special
the
land
ownership
use.
mattered, I thought it was just the land use or the land property.
Well, I
Because
think
owners
when
change
this
all the time.
special land use came, it changed everything.
Gotcha. See, you learn something new every day.
Something new every day.
You don't want to.
All right, so we'll go on to number 9. Anything from the board members?
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry
Ladies.
Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Public comments? Close public comments.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone.